We have a 2008 Pontiac G6. We're going to go through the steps in replacing the fuel pump. We'll start by bleeding the pressure off the system using our pressure relief valve on our gauge. Be sure and capture the fuel into a safe container. Before beginning any repair, disconnect the negative battery cable. In order to do a proper fuel pump replacement, we need to clean the inside of the tank, and that will require the removal of the tank. On the front passenger side of the fuel tank, remove the anti-lock brake connector from the carbon canister. Disconnect the electrical connector for the fuel pump and disconnect the fuel lines. Be sure and capture any fuel into a safe container. Support the muffler and disconnect the 5 exhaust brackets. Safely lower the exhaust system to allow the removal of the tank. With the fuel tank properly supported, disconnect the front tank straps and partially lower the tank. With the tank in this position, remove the fuel filler hose, vent hose, and emissions hose. With everything disconnected from the tank, remove the tank from the vehicle. You will have to work the tank around the exhaust system. It's a good idea to clean the outside of the tank before removing the module assembly. This will keep any excessive debris from getting in the tank. Disconnect the 2 emissions lines and remove the fuel line from the retainers on the top of the tank. Disconnect the 2 electrical connections. Using a non-ferrous brass punch, turn the locking ring counterclockwise to remove the unit. Partially raise the module and disconnect the vent line. Keep in mind there's a reservoir at the bottom of the module. This will hold residual fuel. Be sure and capture this in a safe container. At this point, we need to drain the remaining fuel into a safe container and then clean the inside of the tank. We want to be sure that the tank is as clean as possible to allow a clean environment for the fuel pump. With the inside of the tank thoroughly cleaned, we're ready to install the new Airtex fuel pump. Install the tank seal in its location. Partially lower the module into the tank and connect the vent line. As you completely lower the module into place, be sure to align the vent tube into its location. Using a non-ferrous brass punch, turn the lock ring clockwise until it's fully seated. Reconnect the emissions lines and place the fuel line into location on the top of the tank. This application includes an upgraded wiring harness that you will have to install. Reconnect the electrical connection partially raise the tank into position and reconnect the emissions line, fuel vent line, and fuel filler hose. Fully raise the tank into position and reconnect the tank straps. Reconnect the fuel lines, install the electrical connector onto the carbon canister, and reconnect the fuel pump electrical connector. With the fuel tank fully installed, reposition the exhaust into place. With the repair complete, reattach the negative battery cable. Cycle a key 2 to 3 times in order to charge the system. Start the vehicle and monitor fuel pressure, making sure it's within vehicle specification. Now before we remove our pressure gauge, we'll shut the vehicle off and bleed the pressure using our pressure gauge, making sure to capture any fuel into a safe container.